In Washington, and we're following breaking news on the wrath of Hurricane Milton. First responders in Florida are working tirelessly to rescue people still trapped in their homes amid the storm's trail of destruction. Officials say they dodged the worst-case scenario, but warn the threat is not over.
What we are asking you now is please, please stay inside.
There's so many trees and power lines down that we have to literally cut our ways into these neighborhoods to be able to assess just how damaged they are.
Please be cautious of hazards. We have post-storm fatalities almost every storm, and a lot of these fatalities are avoidable.
Dozens of tornadoes touched down in Florida last night. Check out this stunning video. It's one of 3 twisters to hit St. Lucie County. It happened in less than 25 minutes, and tragically, there were people who died. Officials are reporting multiple fatalities in that area, which is 135 miles from where Milton eventually made landfall. The devastation across the state is catastrophic. Yesterday, this was a brand new building. Today, it's rubble. In the Tampa Bay area, record amounts of rainfall triggered a flash flood emergency. That's where CNN's Isabel Rosales is right now. Isabel, you have been covering the rescue operations all morning. What are you seeing right now?
Real slow. I want to show them that car.
Yeah, Dana, I'm on an airboat right now with Sheriff Chad Chronister, and we're seeing people like right there, if we can push in, you know, up on the 2nd floor of these apartment complexes. We've been seeing people wading through the waters. Let's switch the camera over here to my other side. Do you see right there? Cars underwater. This is all from torrential rainfall. This is not storm surge. This is not an evacuation area. This is something completely unexpected for this area. Let me introduce you to Sheriff Chad Chronister. Sheriff, 33 years ago, you were a rookie. This was your district, known as University area. Now it's Uptown. Have you ever seen anything like this?
This is where I started. This is where I fell in love with this community. I've never seen flooding like this. We had people that evacuated here to make sure they were safe. They listened. They came here. 135 elderly disabled individuals that we rescued earlier. They came here. They were evacuated from Bradenton to stay safe. This is a neighborhood that doesn't have a lot. They have very little. And the very little they had, they've lost everything. We have water 4 feet up into their first floor here. This is a heavily Latino community. Their church is gone. Their cars are gone. Again, they don't live paycheck to paycheck. These are people that live day to day, and they have nothing.
I can tell because I've known you for many years. You're getting choked up right now. What are you going through?
Your heart shatters for these people. We did a bunch of rescues. We took them to a shelter. The female that you saw that we passed, she was waving me down. I made her promise me if it got too deep or she got tired, we'd come back and get her. She broke down and hugged me for 5 minutes. She goes, I don't have a lot. I take care of my grandmother. I evacuated my grandmother, and I'm left with nothing. We've lost everything. We have no furniture. There was 5 feet of water in there. I mean, how does this not shatter your heart?
The assisted living facility. I saw those residents out, a lot of them evacuating with no shoes, their feet on the concrete. They were cold. They went through so much, hours of waiting in the water. What are the stories that you're hearing?
Yeah, you're exactly right. They were literally living in 4 to 5 feet of water. And these are individuals that can't walk. They're sitting in chairs in 4 feet. The panic started to sink in, and they're like, hey, we got to get out of here. They thought the water would subside, and it didn't. It's not like storm surge where it got worse, but these floodwaters, 16 inches of water, and this is the results. And heavily saturated area, the floodwaters that we were talking about that we were so worried about. This water has nowhere to go. Their homes are flooded. They have nowhere to go. And now we'll work with the shelter, and we got them some food, and we got them hydrated, and we'll now work on what those next steps are. Getting emotional because of the men and women of the Sheriff's Office and Hillsborough County Fire Rescue that never stop. I'm proud of them each and every day, but if you saw the way they jumped in water up to their chest, up to their neck, and rescuing people, they never stopped. And you see how,
Waving at the sheriff.
yeah, you see how grateful this community is.
Yeah.
How can you not take this personal?
Sheriff, to my understanding, are you still rescuing people out here?
We have some people we're convincing to leave. Not everybody was ready to leave. They thought the water would rescind, and now that they're realizing it's not, now they're making a better choice. And I get this. They thought it would go down and they'll do cleanup. Cleanup's not coming anytime soon because this water's not going anywhere. So yes, we're out here in full force to make sure that when they say, hey, listen, I'm ready to go, they pack their maybe a couple of vital items they have, their loved ones, that we're here to make that happen for them.
And one more thing, if I can point out to you, Dana, if we shoot the camera that way, this is the Great American Assisted Living Facility. This is where deputies came out in the SHRP, these amphibious vehicles, to get them out of these floodwaters that they told me came so suddenly, so shocking, that they were in those cold waters for hours overnight until help arrived, and help has arrived, and they're going to need more help to turn the other page and get past this terrible situation that nobody anticipated in this area of Hillsborough County. And we've heard so many other stories like that of Milton reaching these floodwaters, just rainfall reaching to levels they never anticipated. You expect this in the Gulf, you expect this in the Bay, not in areas inland like this. Sheriff, thank you so much for your time and telling us, what the good work that you guys are doing to get people the help that they need. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dana.
And thank you to Isabel and of course to the sheriff there who is doing remarkable work along with his team. So let's talk now to Pinellas County Commissioner Brian Scott. Pinellas includes St. Petersburg, which was battered by massive winds. And as I come to you, Sheriff, I'm showing our viewers the roof of the Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, home to the Tampa Bay Rays. It was ripped to shreds. This stadium was supposed to be a refuge for thousands of first responders. Tell us where things stand right now. What is the situation on the ground?
So Pinellas County, I think St. Petersburg took the worst brunt of Hurricane Milton. The big concerns that we had going into the storm was the storm surge. I mean, with Hurricane Helene, we ended up getting about 6.7 feet of storm surge, which is significant. That flooded. The barrier islands got absolutely devastated and almost completely destroyed in that. So that was the really big concern going in, because Hurricane Milton, we were expecting 10 to 15 feet of storm surge. That, fortunately, didn't really occur. So because of that, the barrier islands are now open. All the roads in Pinellas County are open with the exception of some local road closures. And all the bridges, the cross bay bridges that link Tampa and Pinellas County, are also open. But St. Petersburg, they were the closest to the storm, and they really took the brunt of it. There were cranes. There were 2 cranes in downtown St. Pete. It has a tremendous amount of construction going on right now. There were 2 cranes that toppled over and hit buildings. I don't know if they went completely over, but they knocked into buildings. The pictures of Tropicana Field with basically topless without a roof is beyond belief. I've lived in Pinellas County for 42 years, and I've never seen anything like this. I mean, to get a 1-2 punch like that from first Helene, we got basically all of the bad things. Helene didn't even hit us. It was 100 miles offshore, but it gave us this incredible storm surge, which just completely wiped out the barrier islands. And Milton turned into be a wind and rain event, but a very serious wind and rain event. We got some areas with 17 inches of rain, wind like I've never seen here before. So we got, in 2 weeks' time, we went, basically for 3 weeks now, we went from hurricane prep to hurricane recovery, back to hurricane prep, and now we're back to hurricane recovery. I mean, I don't. When Hurricane Andrew hit South Florida, this is probably the most significant event to hit the state of Florida since that point in time.
Wow.
To get a 1-2 punch like this is just unbelievable.
Wow. And, you mentioned, again, the Tropicana Field roof just being ripped off. We are looking at pictures of that, images of that right now. And as I mentioned, coming to you, this is supposed to be where first responders and cleanup personnel staged.
Right.
Do you know if anybody was injured because this was supposed to be kind of a safe area?
To my knowledge, there are no reported injuries or death in Pinellas County at
Great.
this point. Now, I don't know, that's, obviously is a moving target and the situation is changing and we still have a lot of recovery and I'm sure a lot of search and rescue operations still going on. But as of my understanding, that is the situation right now, and knock on wood, I hope it stays that way.